What's up, guys? Mr. Granator here, and welcome to the Deep End. And I'm here with my buddies Desperado and Two Beats for Gaming.
What's going on, you guys?
What's up?
And on this very special episode, I'd like to thank you for tuning in or watching if you are. I'd like to thank you very much for this because this is a milestone, episode 10. And with it being such a special episode to me anyways, I wanted to go back to our very first topic. If you'll remember at the very end of it, we said several times that that would be a topic we would definitely return to. Well, here we go. And we're a little more educated now, a little more knowledgeable about the subject. So, child abuse and domestic violence revisited.
And I'm actually here as a person, not a voice this time.
He's actually here as a person and not Siri.
That was funny.
To you, maybe.
It was hilarious.
Come on, dude. You sound sexy as shit.
I always sound sexy. Let's stop the point. Get to the topic.
Oh, God. Okay. Alright.
Alright.
All serious.
Domestic violence, child abuse.
We're going to start off with child abuse again.
Alright. Well, I was informed by a friend of mine that he saw a video that had been posted on YouTube of this guy and his daughter going into a Walmart. And he takes his daughter's hair and ties it to the shopping cart handle. And is dragging this little girl all over the store by her hair. A woman, a good citizen, sees this, calls the police. They show up, and they tell the woman, you know, well, we can't do much. We can go and say something to her. And he told me in the video that the cops go over there, they say something to the guy. Well, the guy turns around and tells this cop to go fuck himself. Well, this cop, I guess, him being a daddy himself, tells this guy, you know what? No, fuck you. You get on the ground. You're under arrest. But before you get on the ground, you're to untie her hair from that shopping cart right here. If I'd have been there and I would have seen that shit, I wouldn't have called no damn cops. I'd have went right over there and I'd have knocked that motherfucker out, took and undone her hair, and then called fucking damn child services.
There you go. That's crazy.
And I hope the motherfucker is out there and he's watching this video.
I really
tell
do.
you, dude, if I'd have seen your ass do that shit to that little girl, I'm a daddy myself. I've got a daughter. Yes, sometimes she don't mind or whatever, but I don't do that shit to her. I correct her as a parent. But if I was to ever see you do that shit, dude, I'd have floorboarded your ass.
Oh, yeah. And given the opportunity, I think
That goes to any of you motherfuckers out there that have ever put your hands on a kid. You let me see you do it, I'm gonna whoop your ass. I'm not gonna call no cops. I'm gonna straight up whoop your ass.
And I speak for all of us when I say we'd all do the exact same thing. Let me see you doing something like that, son. Let me see you. Let me see you doing some shit around here where I live. I'll tell you what, right now they won't find your body. I live in the sticks, homeboy. Don't no popos come around here. Now then, Beast, you were saying?
Yeah, I've been through some shit, so if I see, I'm definitely gonna go after someone. I don't care if they're bigger than me, I'm definitely gonna try.
Oh yeah. You can be bigger than me, stronger than me, hell, you can be smarter than me. I'm gonna try to whoop your ass. Let me tell you something. Oh, you might be bigger and stronger than me, but I bet you ain't smarter than me. But getting down to some of the facts, child abuse or child maltreatment, as some people like to, as some people like to call it, to cover the term neglect, exploitation, and trafficking. Oh wait, no,
Yeah.
that's something else. Or child
Yeah,
maltreatment. It's the same thing.
yeah.
It's physical, sexual, or psychological mistreatment or neglect of a child or children, especially by a parent or other caregiver. Now, see, if all you want to do with kids is just, to put it in, I really don't know how to say, how other to say it, is if all other than if all you want to do with kids is just run around and play tiddlywinks or whatever with them, you don't need to have kids. If all you want to do is fucking smack them around, you don't need to have kids. You don't need kids. I mean, damn it, man. Because, you know, the kids that go through this, and I'm gonna go back and say this: the kids that go through this are more than likely to have something we've talked about in an earlier episode, depression, and possibly suicidal tendencies. So you're basically putting your child, your own flesh and blood, through hell, through utter hell, just so you can blow off some steam or do whatever. You know what? Fuck you. There's a special place in hell for people like you.
I mean, and there's some motherfuckers out here that want to use the excuse, well, I've had a bad day at work, you know, I come home and this little good for nothing little piece of shit ain't done his homework, or she ain't done her homework, and wants to yell and scream. I get tired of hearing this shit, so I pop the fuck out of it. Dude, there's no excuse. You had a bad day at work, don't take that on your kids, man.
Yeah, you had a bad day at work. What you need to do is go back in the bedroom, relax, you know, take a nap, do something, play some video games, blow off some steam. There you go. But no, they.
Now, I want to put it point blank, Dre. If they had a bad day at work, leave the shit at work. Don't bring it home.
Exactly.
That's work. That's work related. Leave it at work. Leave it at the job site.
And that right there, that situation right there goes hand in hand with child abuse and domestic violence, because it can happen.
Yep.
In both situations, it can happen. And I'm damn sure it has happened before.
Yep.
Now this child abuse, going back into some facts. It may include any act or failure to act by a parent or other caregiver that results in actual or potential harm to a child, and can occur in a child's home or in the organizations, schools, or communities the child interacts with. The terms child abuse and child maltreatment are often used interchangeably, meaning they're basically used in the same circumstances. But some researchers make a distinction between them, treating child maltreatment as an umbrella term to cover neglect, exploitation, and trafficking. different jurisdictions have developed their own definitions of what constitutes child abuse for the purposes of removing a child from his or her family and or prosecuting a criminal charge. Well, that happened.
What?
That was just a bunch of static out of nowhere.
Whose mic was that?
I don't know.
Oh,
This is a private chat, so I don't know one's in. Anyways, the World Health Organization distinguishes 4 types of child maltreatment: physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional and psychological abuse, and neglect. Now, going back to what I said earlier, if you're just gonna take all your anger, frustration out on your kids, why do you have kids? You know, and then, and you know, I mean, you know kids. We all know kids. They're going to be annoying. They're going to be sometimes unruly.
pains in the butt.
Little pains in the butt, yeah. But I mean, if you grow up around other kids, around younger brothers and sisters, or sometimes even older brothers and sisters, you know this. This is something you already know. You know this is coming. If you ever have kids, you know it's coming.
I mean,
So,
you know, take this, take this. Alright. The parents of today need to look back. Okay, if your child's acting up, look at yourself growing up. What all did y'all do when you grew up? They always say, you know, reap what you sow.
mhm.
Or how can you put it, Tyler?
What comes around goes around. I don't know.
I don't know. It's something my mom told me is like, okay, you're gonna keep acting like this, and one day your kids are gonna act
Karma.
the same way.
Karma.
Yeah, karma. But it don't give you a right though to sit there and beat the hell out of them just because you feel like it.
No, not at all. Nothing gives you that right, unless, well, and I'm not advocating anything by saying this. I ain't gonna say you should beat the hell out of your kids or anything. But corporal punishment, in my mind, is still a thing. When I was a youngin', I got beat with a belt. I got my ass beat with a belt, and I turned out just fine. But see, today's parents, today's courts and judges and stuff have outlawed that. In fact, I want to take this opportunity and point out there was a football player who actually, I believe he either went to jail or prison one, because he took a belt and beat his child's ass for disobeying him. And it wasn't like it was child abuse or anything. I bet, no, maybe 4 or 5 belts to the butt. Yeah, that's it. That's all it was. Just a parent disciplining his child. And they put the man in jail.
See, that's the problem with the court systems and shit of today. Back whenever we were growing up, it was somewhat okay for us to get whippings, spankings.
Mm-hmm.
The teachers did it at school when we acted up.
Mm-hmm.
They would give us spankings. Nowadays, when a kid acts up in school, their parent has to sign a piece of paper,
Sign a permission
giving the
slip,
teacher
basically.
permission to use corporal punishment.
Mm-hmm. See,
Because the child abuse laws have gotten so strict.
go.
It's like I was saying, parents nowadays have to sign a waiver to give the teachers at the schools permission to paddle a child. Back in our days growing up, our parents didn't have to. They just told the teacher, if my child acts up in your class, you have my permission to bust his ass.
There you go. Oh,
And see, that's what's wrong with our school. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's what's wrong with our young people today. The schools, the government, and the state laws and all this have gotten so strict on corporal punishment that the kids nowadays think, well, hell, I can go out here and rob this liquor store and get away with it.
and what happens?
Ain't nobody gonna bust my ass for doing it. I can go home, mama and daddy ain't gonna be able to do shit. They do, and I can haul child abuse.
And what happens when they rob that convenience store?
It's motherfuckers that are abusing the kids, actually abusing them, that has got the corporal punishment laws and stuff so strict.
Mm-hmm. And you know, you're right. A lot of kids, they just because they know if their parents touch them, they could go to jail. They think they can do whatever the hell they want. So, yeah, they go out and rob They go out and rob a convenience store, thinking, oh well, mom and daddy can't do nothing. They rob it. You know, pull out daddy's gun from the closet or from the drawer or whatever. Give me all your money. Well, what happens? Maybe you don't get corporal punishment, but you're getting federal punishment because that's a federal crime.
Yep.
And that's a felony before you've even turned 18. So,
I mean, if the state and the government would be lenient more on corporal punishment, I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, these kids of today wouldn't act like they're acting. You wouldn't hear, well, Johnny went down the street the other day and robbed so-and-so for $400 and got away with it scot-free, no punishment done to him by his parents. Or, say like a 6-year-old grabs a hold of a gun, takes it to school, shoots his buddy, you know, and don't, and nothing, you know, parenting-wise gets done about it. Because the parents of today are too scared that they're going to get charged with child abuse because of other motherfuckers actually committing child abuse.
exactly.
Like I said earlier, it's because of them that we can't punish our child like we want to punish our child. We have to watch what we do.
That's in every sense of the word true. And it's scary. I mean, what really else can you say about it? It's scary.
I mean, as far as domestic violence, I mean, yeah, I'm going to go into that.
Yeah, I was going to go into that next.
As far as violence goes, you know, husband comes home, he's had a rough day at work, drinks him a few beers, his wife ain't got dinner cooked just yet, He's bitching at her about it. Kids are in the background screaming. Next thing you know, he's waylaying on the kids, waylaying on his old lady, you know. I don't like that shit.
And
And
you
I
know,
don't like somebody, you know, gonna sit there and yell at their wife just because she's not doing what he wants her to do right then and there.
exactly. And laying hands on a woman where I come from is very unacceptable, and if you do it, that's a good way to get your ass beat.
Yep.
Well, speaking of domestic violence, it's not just physical. It, domestic violence
No.
can take a number of forms, including physical, verbal, emotional, economic, religious, and sexual abuse, which can range from subtle coercive forms to marital rape and female genital mutilation and acid throwing that results in disfigurement or death. So, again, if you're I'm not gonna say if you're a very violent person, because myself, I can get violent if I have to, if I'm pushed to the point where there really ain't no other option. But if you're a very violent person and you have deep-seated mental issues, such as like I don't know, somebody uh somebody help me out here. Such as something that makes you get angry really, really, really quickly for almost no reason. Yeah, bipolar. Which some people with bipolar disorder can handle it. They can put it under control and they can handle it and they can control it. Other people, however, are unfortunately unable to do so. To those people, I say
some people out there, there's some people out there, Dre, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but there's some people out there that use that bipolar as an excuse.
mhm,
Like if they beat their old lady or vice versa, their old lady beats the hell out of them, they use, well, I've got a bipolar disorder. I've got schizophrenia. He wouldn't stop, so I didn't know what to do, so I just picked up an ashtray and hit him in the head with it.
yeah. And I mean, stuff like that, it doesn't just stop at violence. Let's be honest. It could very well lead to murder. Maybe accidental, but it can. Maybe accidental, maybe purposely, but it can. Maybe, I have a friend of mine who has a lot of anger issues, and if you make, from what he says, if you make him mad enough, he blacks out and doesn't remember anything he does or says or whatever while he's in that blacked out state. So that could happen. I don't know. I mean, it's all dependent on the person's or what they got going on upstairs.
Yep.
So, domestic violence, I don't like it, period. My stepdad and my mother, my last stepdad, I should say, and my mother, the last day we were in that house and she was with him, they got into a big fight, but they had been in big fights before, but this one I got involved. And I got involved, I knew I shouldn't have, but I did it anyways because I thought I was big stuff. I thought I was going to go out there and tell him, listen here, you going to do this, and you going to do it now. No. He went to get in his truck, and Mama was telling him, you going to give me that house key right now, and he wouldn't listen to her. So I walked out to her, to him, I held my hand out, and I said, give her the key. That big 6'2", maybe 250, hit me so hard I went flying up in the air from the parking lot to the grass on the other side of the sidewalk. I can still remember it to this day. And for a long time I said to myself, if I ever see this guy on the street, if I ever see him again, I'm gonna beat the ever-loving mess out of him. But as I'm getting older, I realize ain't no point in holding on to the past. Because odds are I ain't ever gonna see him again, so why even cling to it? So.
Hell, or you know, he's probably in jail. He probably beat the hell out of some woman when he was in jail.
He probably did. I wouldn't put it past him. He wasn't drunk. Said he had quit drinking, but oh, who knows?
Beast, you got anything you want to throw in here?
Not really.
Well,
besides child abuse and domestic violence abuse is fucking retarded, and I would catch it in Walmart or somewhere. I want to step in between that shit.
Yep.
I think all of us
can do child abuse for 5 years.
Mm-hmm. I believe all of us can. Well, I believe I speak for all of us when I say if we ever catch you hit a woman or hit a child or just anything in that area, believe you me, buddy, you going to the hospital. You do it in front of the wrong person, you ain't even going. You skipping the trip to the hospital, buddy. You going to the morgue.
Yep. There's a lot of people out there packing heat. They believe the same thing we believe in. And if they ever see somebody hit a woman, damn well believe they're gonna intervene. All right, they're gonna put that son of a bitch in the ground.
Oh yeah. So, you guys want to call it with that?
Yeah.
If you liked the video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more in the future. If you have any suggestions for topics we can use in the future, leave them in the comment section below. That being said, I'm Mr. Graynator, this is 2Bs for Gaming, and this is Mr. Desperado.
And thank you for getting us to number 10. Let's keep going, guys.
Thank you guys.
Number 10. Keep it going.
Thank you guys so much for this. You know, we all here just want to thank you guys so much. You know, number 10, a milestone, and let's keep it going. You guys have a great day.